Please meet Nicole. She's an adolescent currently enrolled in one of LA Unified School District's middle schools. Nicole's ACE scores over time indicate nearly every category of abuse, neglect, and household dysfunction. During the course of her contact with child welfare and the juvenile justice systems, she became a dual-experience survivor of sexual exploitation and human trafficking. Nicole has limited to no access to resilience-building resources. Nicole's behaviors place her in increasingly dangerous situations. Without effective interventions, her trajectory will lead her to multiple physical and mental health problems. And there's the rub. What is an effective intervention given that Nicole presents symptoms from all diagnostic clusters for post-traumatic stress, yet 3 of her most influential symptoms go unscreened, undiagnosed, or misdiagnosed as trauma? Nicole's unresolved guilt, loss, and shame are the dominant features of moral injury and not a medical or mental health diagnosis. So what is moral injury? According to the Syracuse University Moral Injury Project, moral injury is the emotional and spiritual impact of perpetrating, failing to prevent, witnessing, or being victimized by acts or behaviors that violate one's personal, spiritual, or moral beliefs. It is a soul wound that profoundly shapes one's identity, forever altering reintegration paths to self, others, and humanity. My name is Noel, and I relate to our student Nicole. I suffer from Nicole's affliction as well, only the origins of my moral injury stem from ground combat operations in southern Afghanistan. Moral injury is increasingly a focus of discussion and study across disciplines and settings. Returning veterans and those who care for them are making efforts to understand and respond effectively when veterans' experiences result in levels of anguish, anger, alienation, and reintegration challenges are not well explained in terms of mental health diagnoses, such as post-traumatic stress disorder. Does any of this sound, look, or feel familiar? I'm guessing that, as counselors working in pupil services and student support programs for the nation's second largest school district, ground zero for many of our societal shifts, a highly politicized environment fueled by competing requirements, that you and your students are swimming in all forms of moral injury. So what good is a better lens for LAUSD? My team and I are humbled by the opportunity to share with you in May our learning objectives for those in pupil services and student support programs to be able to distinguish between post-traumatic stress and moral injury, assess the need for moral injury education, and recognize moral injury using a multidisciplinary framework. How will we do this? My team and I use performing arts, story, live music, dance, and spoken word to convey this material. Engaging moral injury at this level requires an experiential and artistic approach in addition to academic rigor. Art invites us into a creative rather than competitive space. Just because the subject matter is intense does not mean that it can't be delivered in a beautiful way. We designed the arc of our program to allow for audience to have both distance and intimacy with the material. That is, a veteran lens is just that, an aperture to look through when exploring or focusing on one's own landscape.